Social media is interesting. It's one of the few mediums where the content is driven primarily by the users through human activity and human desire. Every single thing is tracked on these social media platforms, from what videos you watch to how long you watch, and some platforms even look at what you do outside of the app. Social media becomes a reflection of our lives, the people we associate with, the topics we are interested in, and social media becomes a mirror of us. And it makes sense. When it comes to social media, it is their job to keep you on their platform the longest. The longer you stay on the platform, the better. So what if there was some psychological design to keep you on the platform the longest without you really realizing how much time you're spending on the platform? Endless scrolling, also known as mindless scrolling, is a web design technique that continuously loads content for users as they scroll down, eliminating pagination. Pagination is just a division of content across several pages. Think of Google. When you scroll down to the bottom, there are numbers representing different web pages. But of course, we don't want this. Only 25% of people go to the second page of Google, meaning there is a higher chance of users leaving this site if they can't find what they need. And as a social media site, this is bad. Having multiple web pages or having users look for content themselves is inefficient and ineffective. This is where infinite scrolling comes in. As a Raskin, an inventor and interface designer, would invent the concept of the infinite scroll in 2006. He would eventually apologize for creating such an addicting design and would state that optimizing something for ease of use does not mean best for the user or humanity. And he's right. The infinite scroll is the most optimized way of keeping users on a platform. You can never run out of posts to watch, therefore you never stop scrolling. This actually conditions users to spend more time on social media than intended. Many people see themselves getting lost in social media, especially TikTok, because the algorithm knows so much about you, so every post is stimulating, but also it's endless. Our attention is held by the unknown. This is why endless scrolling has become known as the slot machine for the new generation. Our brain can't get enough of trying to predict what's next, and our dopamine system kicks into high gear. There's a sense of anticipation that fuels you, and you continue to do it over and over and over again. This is why gambling is so addictive. You don't know the outcome, and when you do, hopefully you are rewarded. This creates a reward-based system that we can look deeper into. When you scroll to a new video or photo and it interests you, your brain releases dopamine. And because scrolling is endless and newer algorithms will also find interesting content, these releases of dopamine only get stronger and stronger. This can actually lead to a tolerance, which we will talk about later when we talk about boredom. But these strong releases of dopamine spike our dopamine activity levels. This is why endless scrolling can be so addictive. You would never be able to predict the next video or photo or post. Therefore, when you are stimulated by that post, the reward seems so much more satisfying. This mindless scrolling gives people fast access to variable rewards and essentially gives us something to do when we are bored, which leads to a whole new problem. Boredom has no association with idleness or just doing nothing. This is why, as a society, we are more bored than ever. Studies show that due to the rise of industrialization and urbanization, this has led to less satisfying social and work lives. So feelings of disengagement and meaninglessness have increased. In response, we look for things to do to not make us bored. This is one of the reasons smart device usage has increased. When we are eating, on the toilet, or just in bed at 3 a.m., we look for something to grab and hold our attention. Many people get caught up in scrolling on social media for too long and forget about their daily activities such as work or sleep. But is getting on your phone even good for boredom? Bored is a sense of meaninglessness, and social media scrolling only alleviates the situation in the moment. Social media cures boredom at a shallow level, and eventually you start to gain a tolerance. But overall, boredom is a valuable sign for change. Boredom gives you the ability to recognize that something isn't meaningful and go and find something that is. But social media preoccupies our time without it being meaningful. We waste a lot of time doing nothing, scrolling infinitely.